Hello and welcome to the Mystical Arts Academy. I'm Steve Terry, and today in this beginner's guide to meditation we'll go through the how-to, the why and the wherefores, and especially the health benefits of meditating regularly. We've got lots to cover, so let's get going. So what is meditation? There are so many definitions and a whole bunch of different modalities to choose from. Where do we start? Well, in this beginner's guide to meditation, we're keeping it simple and easy, and I'll teach you what you need to know to start meditating right away, along with some of the health benefits, and in later lessons, we'll do a deeper dive. So the word meditation has so many connotations, and if you ask 10 meditating gurus what it means, you'll probably get 10 different answers. So meditation, the word, literally means to become familiar with. It's that simple. So don't get caught up with all of the different styles of meditation and modalities. At this stage, it doesn't matter. All you need to know is that with a simple meditation practice, you can change your life for the better. So what are the benefits of meditating? Well, the biggest benefit is health. It is that simple. There are scientific studies which show that someone who meditates for 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, will increase the healthy chemicals running through their bodies by 55%. And that's just for starters. In this modern day life we lead, it's been calculated that the majority of people are living in a stress state 90 to 95% of the time. And stress is the biggest cause of disease in the Western world. So why is that? Why are most of us living in such a high state of stress? Well, let's jump back a few million years to when the proverbial saber-toothed tiger were around, when we were, for the most part, hunter-gatherers. So it's 2 million years ago, and we're out in the bush hunting. You hear a noise in the bushes. Your heart starts pumping faster. Your breathing increases. You feel trembling in your legs. Your tummy tightens, and your nerves are on edge. You're in the classic fight, flight, or hide state. Your subconscious mind reacted to the noise way before your conscious mind realised there may be a danger. And this started an avalanche of altered chemicals streaming through your veins. Now, the stress hormones released in this situation are good. When your body automatically puts you in a stress state, the chemicals produced tell your body to get ready for action. There's a possible threat, so your body gets ready to fight, run away or hide. It gets jumpy, jittery, on edge. All of the body's resources are getting pushed to your large muscle groups, your legs, your arms, your torsos, of course. And if you're going to be fighting or running away from the proverbial tiger, you'll need strength in those muscle groups. Where does this energy come from? Well, it gets redirected from our brain, our digestive system, for healing and illness and repairing damage to our bodies as well. So why is energy taken from the brain, you may ask? After all, you need to think in order to escape. Well, no, that's not actually true. Your subconscious reacts way faster than your conscious thought process can. And when you're in danger, speed is of the essence. We'll go more into the subconscious and how it operates in another lesson. But have you ever made someone jump out of their skin by hiding around a corner and startling them? They may even know you're standing there, but when you jump out and go boo, they still jump. It's an involuntary subconscious reaction, and there's very little you can do other than jump out of your skin. The same happens when we hear a loud, unexpected noise. Have you ever seen the funny clips on the internet where someone is driving down the street and blasts a really loud car horn next to some pedestrians? Some will flinch, others will duck down in fright, while others will start to run. This is the classic stress response, and all animals can cope with being in a stress state for a short period of time. The gazelle on the plains of Africa may get chased by a lion. The stress hormones kick in, they run away, and once they're out of danger, the stress response is turned off, and they go back to eating as if nothing had happened. The body's energy, its resources, are also redirected from our digestive system, because in essence, if you're going to be eaten by the proverbial saber-toothed tiger in a few minutes, digesting food is not a priority, and your digestive tract will slow down or even stop. This is also why we feel butterflies in our tummy when we're nervous. It's the same when our bodies are fighting a bacterial infection, or when the body is repairing an injury. If you're going to be eaten by the tiger, any infection or bacteria are going to be the tiger's problem, so your immune system slows down or even stops working. So while our bodies can cope with being in a stress state for a few minutes, when those few minutes turn into hours or days, or when we're constantly in a stress state, our immune system becomes compromised. Our digestive tract slows down, we get brain fog, and we're constantly tired, because all of our energy is being utilised to help us, to prepare us to fight, hide, or run away. Again, it's been estimated that the average person is in a stress state 90 to 95% of the time. So there's no wonder there's so much of a massive health crisis going on, and why there's so much disease and illness, even though we have one of the best health systems there's ever been. So why we're living in such stress times? It's no longer the proverbial tiger that causes our subconscious to automatically put us in a stress state. It can be the mother-in-law, your boss, a work colleague, an email from a disgruntled client, the kids not wanting to go to school, or they're acting up, the distraction when you hear the notification from your phone when a new message arrives, especially if you're concentrating on something, worrying about paying the rent, or more recently paying the gas or electricity bills, even being able to put food on the table, watching the news on TV. Don't get me started with the news. And newspapers. It's all doom and gloom. And when we hear an upsetting or troubling news story, and we start to feel the knots in our tummy, that's the stress hormones causing our intestines to squeeze and redirect the blood to our extremities, getting ready to run, fight, or hide from the perceived dangers. So in simple terms, the hormones and chemicals flowing through our bodies when we're stressed do something called downregulate our genes. Our genes contain instructions for making proteins that help our cells to function, divide and replicate. So when our genes get downregulated, it's more likely that variations or mutations happen. And these changes can and do cause all sorts of health problems. So our cells are the basic functional unit of our body and are responsible for many tasks. And they're the building blocks of our body and control how our body functions. So, as an example, if you decide to build your own home and you use bricks that are of poor quality, or you construct your framework with wood that is woodworm, while the house may look okay from the outside, when the first storms of winter come along and the house is being pounded by wind and rain, how long will it last? But if you build your house with good quality foundations, good bricks and good quality wood, it's going to weather the storm with ease. And that's where upregulating our genes come in. As I said earlier, there's been scientific studies where beginner meditating for just 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, can increase the good hormones and chemicals flowing through their bodies by 55%. And those chemicals create healthier proteins, and in turn create healthier genes, which create healthier cells. So let that sink in for a second. So if we're stressed, which we are 95% of the time, and if the chemicals of stress cause our genes to downregulate, which leads to disease, which it does, then by taking time out for ourselves, starting with just 20 minutes a day, meditating, if this increases the healthier chemicals in our bodies, and it does, causing our genes to be healthier, which cause our cells to be healthier. And when our cells are healthier, they perform better, more efficient, with less variations, fewer mutations. And the end result is a healthier body, less disease, better quality of life, a longer life, a life filled with more joy, more happiness, better health, and a more fulfilling life overall. All this for just 20 minutes a day. All that benefit by not watching the 6 o'clock news, by meditating instead. All that benefit by closing your phone and stopping scrolling endlessly on social media for just 20 minutes a day. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How much is it going to cost you today? Nothing. Not a cent, not a dime, not a penny, only time. 20 minutes. That's it. You don't need expensive gym membership. You don't need to buy expensive running shoes, an expensive push bike. Nothing, just 20 minutes a day. It only costs you your time, and I'm pretty sure you waste more than 6 times that amount on social media or watching rubbish on TV. So it costs you nothing, and the benefits are literally priceless. Okay, so let's get a bit extreme. Let's stress you out a little. And as a little stress is actually good for you, believe it or not, it's the sustained stress that's the killer. So think about this for a moment, and I mean really think about this for a moment. This is scaremongering time. This is kicking the butt time. This is a wake-up call. If you could look into the future and see that in 10 years' time you contracted a horrible disease with a life expectancy of 6 months, and then one of your grandchildren or even children come along and say that they're going to get married next year or have a baby in 8 months' time, what would you give to be able to celebrate that? If there were a miracle cure, but it cost £1 million or $1 million or €1 million, and you could afford it, would you spend that amount of money to live long enough to celebrate with them? Of course you would. I know it's a bit extreme and possibly unsettling for some of you to think about, but people do wait until something catastrophic happens to change their lifestyle. People do procrastinate and think, well, I'll start that tomorrow, and never do. And when they do start, due to a major life-changing event, it may be too late. So back to the good stuff. How would you like to live a happier, healthier and longer life? I know the answer is yes. There are very few people who would want to meet their maker too soon. So all it's going to cost you is 20 minutes a day. There's no monetary cost to this. I'm not charging you for this life-changing, life-giving information. It's free. You can even listen to my meditations for free, and there are plenty of free resources out there on the internet. And to be honest, if you do start to meditate and it extends your life expectancy by 6 months, a year, 5 years, then what I'm teaching here is priceless. You do have to take action. You do have to put the work in. 20 minutes a day. That's all you need to start with. But there is a small caveat. You can get hooked on meditating. When you feel so relaxed, so at peace with yourself, your family, the world, it gets addictive. And you'll want to do more. You'll want to try different meditations. You want to learn different techniques. Ones that promote a healthier mind, which in turn help you live a life filled with more joy, happiness, health and wealth. So we've covered quite a bit of background information, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, and there's lots more to know about when the time is right. So how does meditation work? It simply signals your body that you are no longer in danger, and your body releases different chemicals and different hormones that promote health and regeneration. So the sympathetic nervous system, as it's called, when it kicks in, prepares the body for strenuous physical activity. It puts the body in the fight or flight mode. And when we meditate, when we are relaxed, that's when the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and regulates the hormones and chemicals that our body produces to promote health, repair and regeneration. So as I mentioned at the beginning, there are different modalities of meditation. When choosing a form of meditation to use, we need to know what the end goal is. And for us, for now, it's just to aid in relaxation, to bring about a state of calmness and inner peace. For beginners, a guided meditation for relaxation is perfect, where the guide will walk us through a relaxation process to help bring our bodies and minds into a nice, comfortable state. I've created a guided meditation to go along with this lesson, and I'll post a link in the comments. We can also use meditation to reach a heightened state of consciousness, to help develop mediumship and talk to our spirit guides or contact dearly departed loved ones. We can also use meditation to seek guidance from our higher self or oversoul, to access our Akashic records. We can also use meditation to help us reprogram our self-limiting beliefs, to reprogram our subconscious for success. The list goes on, but we'll cover those topics in later lessons and talks. But all we want to use meditation for at this beginner stage is to aid relaxation, to bring our bodies to a relaxed state for an extended period of time. But don't be surprised if while meditating your spirit guides come through, or you have some epiphany or vision. It's not uncommon. So when we meditate, all we do is sit in a nice, quiet and comfortable place at a time when we know we won't be disturbed. We close our eyes, we slow our breathing, and this tells our subconscious that we aren't in danger. And our parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, releasing all those feel-good, life-giving chemicals and hormones. It really is that simple. So to start with, it's better to meditate at the same time of day and in the same location. Our bodies work best in a routine. We like patterns, and when we get used to doing a certain activity at a certain time, it makes it easier to stick to. You can listen to a guided meditation, have some quiet, relaxing music on in the background, or even sit in silence. Why not try all of them and see what works best for you? There are no hard and fast rules. Nothing is set in stone. All we want to do to start with is learn how to relax, to allow our bodies to get into a rest and repair state. Initially, when we start to meditate, our minds and our subconscious will object to what we're doing. We'll have thoughts about the groceries you need to purchase, or you may feel like you have to get up and wash the dishes, or that you've not spoken with your aunt for 2 weeks. Your subconscious mind will try to stop you from meditating. It will offer thoughts to distract you, and that's okay and normal. Like anything worthwhile doing, it takes practice, and practice makes for proficiency. So when your mind starts to wander, acknowledge the thought and get back to relaxing. Some days will be easier than others, but stick with it. It is worth the effort. With my relaxation meditations, I walk you through a relaxation exercise to relax your body, to get into the zone, so to speak. So, the reason for meditation will dictate which meditation method we go through. If it's a deep meditation, we'll work from our feet up and imagine our toes relaxing, then our ankles, moving up to our calves and working all the way up to our heads and face. For other meditations, we'll work head down, but not in as much detail. And then for other meditations, it may be a case of breathing in love and light, and as we breathe out, we release any tension in our bodies. It really is that simple. It really is simple to get started. But again, at first, unless you're a Buddhist monk, you won't stop the chatter that happens when our subconscious finds itself with nothing to do. It's a state of mind, and in all reality, when you first start meditating, the subconscious may never have encountered it before. So it throws up all sorts of thoughts, some random, while others may be about your next shopping trip or work. It may bring up a conversation you had with a friend or a disagreement. But with time, with patience, with practice, you can bring your subconscious to heal. You can, over time, calm the monkey brain, the incessant chatter and random thoughts that occur when we're trying to relax. So that's it, a beginner's guide to meditation. I really hope you can see the benefits of meditating, especially the health benefits. I hope you enjoyed this little talk. There's plenty more to come on all sorts of topics from supernatural, paranormal, mystical, health and well-being. And if you want to live a life filled with more joy, happiness, health and wealth, stick around for our next talk. Or why not join us on our next live Zoom chat? Keep an eye out for the events notification on our Facebook group, or even better still, sign up for our newsletter on our website, MysticalArts.Academy. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, bye for now.